of the pandemic tunnel is growing even brighter. Joining me now to break it all down and what you need to know about the week's developments is epidemiologist Dr. Raywat Deonandan. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
All right, let's start with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. It's now been approved. We know it's one dose, but what else should the public know about it?
It's very efficacious. So after 4 weeks after the first shot, or the only shot rather, it seemed to prevent 66% of moderate cases, 85% of severe cases, and 100% of hospitalizations and deaths. It's also very efficacious against the scary South African variant B1351. About over 80% of cases were avoided there as well. So it's a powerful, powerful tool. And as noted, it's just one shot. It can be stored in the fridge for up to 3 months, I think. And so it's going to be a fantastic tool getting into more arms in more remote areas and faster. I think Canada has ordered about 10 million doses with the option of getting 28 million more. But the bulk of those aren't going to be arriving for several more months, so it won't be our great salvation just yet. It's going to be one of the most important tools on the global stage, though.
And just a few months ago, we were wondering when will the vaccines arrive? They're finally here, and now we're all comparing efficacy rates, figuring out which one we perceive to be better. What do you say to people who prefer one vaccine over the other?
This isn't about individual need. We all want the best things in our body, but remember, the faster we get to population immunity, the faster all of us go back to normal. The goal here is a normal society, not a small number of people with hyperimmunity. So you take the vaccine that's offered to you. That's the best choice you can make on that day for your health. So if enough people get some immunity, guess what? Society goes back to normal.
Normal is a word we are all waiting to hear and use in daily life. Okay, we're now nearing the end of the first week of March, which is when the province projected that variants of concern would make up 40% of cases. Are we on track to hit that number?
I don't think we're quite on track there, but we are seeing an uptick of cases. So the test positivity rate has been going up amongst young people, those aged 10 to 29, and it's only a matter of time before that bleeds into the older demographic and we see hospitalizations and death. So we still have some time to immunize enough people. The window is closing, though, which is why the rush to get vaccination out as quickly as we can.
All right, let's talk about Toronto and Peel. They may enter the gray lockdown zone. Does that seem like the right decision to you?
Oh, yes. I think we have to keep transmission as slow as possible to prevent the impending dominance of those new variants, especially given what the modeling projects for later this month. And it gives us more time to get shots into arms, which is the goal here. We only have to live with this a few more months more, maybe even less if we do our jobs right.
That's always been the key thing. We need to do our jobs. As we know, not everyone is doing that. Let's talk about region hoppers, for example. If Toronto and Peel remain in lockdown, how critical is it that everyone stay in their lockdown region and not move to the red zones, for instance?
This has always been an endeavor for the individual citizen to follow public health guidance. That means staying put. If you want the province to go back to normal, you got to stop spreading infection from high zone areas to low incidence zone areas. So we can't enact, official formal restrictions on domestic travel. It's up to individual citizens to voluntarily restrict our movements. Again, that's how we get back to normal faster, which is what everybody wants.
Normal and faster, two key words. Dr. Raywat Deonandan, thanks so much for joining us and for your insight this hour.
Thank you.
Coming up.
Awesome, doctor. Thank you so much for your time. Always appreciate it. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.